Alright, this is construction C-L12. This is our 12th construction. So put your heading. This is page 1 out of 2. The essential question is, how do we construct an equilateral triangle using the circle method? The homework is C-HW12 is to complete the handout, and you can see YouTube video C-L12 for help. So for the warm-up, I want you to solve the following problem. Construct an equilateral triangle. Okay, so you're not given a side length this time. So in the space provided below, you're going to construct an equilateral triangle using your own given side length. You're going to draw your own side length. So this is exactly the same problem that you did in the last construction. So if you need help, you can go back and look at that. Once you finish the warm-up problem, on the back of the sheet, you can put the title of our lesson today, which is Construction 12. Equilateral triangle using the circle method. Okay? You're given nothing. Your task is to construct an equilateral triangle using the circle method. And here's your directions. Step 1. Draw a circle of any size. You don't want to make it too big or too small. And place a point on the upper right circumference of the circle. Without changing the size of the compass, place the compass point on the circle you drew on the circumference and make a small arc to the left that crosses the circumference. Step 3. Place the compass point on the intersection of the arc you made in step 2 and the circumference of the intersection. And make another small arc to the left that crosses the circumference. Step 4. Continue this process around the circle until you end up where you started. Step 5, using a pen, connect every other intersection point. The result will be that you have constructed an equilateral triangle using the circle method. Whoops, there's step 5 in the result. Okay, now on a new sheet, let's do an example problem of how to do this. Put your heading, this is page 2 out of 2. And the problem is construct an equilateral triangle using the circle method. So we're not given any side length, and we don't need a side length here. Okay? So the step 1 says to draw a circle of any size, not too big or too small, and place a point on the upper right circumference of the circle. Okay? So my circle's not going to be that big because I want to make sure you can see the whole thing in the video. So somewhere in the middle of my page, I'm putting my compass point, and I'm opening my compass, not too big and not too small. And I'm going to make a circle. Alright, so what you can see is that the width of my compass is actually the length of the radius of the circle. Okay? It goes from the center to the edge of the circle. That's a radius. So that's the size of my compass right now. You choose that length yourself. Okay? Now, it says put a point on the top right of the circumference. Okay? Now, I haven't changed anything about the compass. Alright? Because step 2 says, without changing the size of the compass, place the compass point on the circle you drew on the circumference and make a small arc to the left that crosses the circumference. So I put my point on that circle and I make a small arc to the left that crosses the circumference. The next step, place the compass point on the intersection of the arc you made in step 2 and the circumference and make another small arc to the left that crosses the circumference. So I place it on that intersection point and I make another small arc. And I just keep doing this all the way around the circle. That's what the next step says. To continue doing this all the way around the circle. Okay, and what you'll notice is that when you get to the end, it should land directly on your reference point, okay, or very, very close to it. So, you have this pinwheel looking thing. So now what you need to do is step 5. Using a pen, connect every other intersection point. Every other intersection point. Alright, so I'll go from the reference point I skip one and I go to this one, and then I skip one and I go to the next one. And I connect those three reference points. Okay, so that's what my final construction looks like. And you can see it's an equilateral triangle. All three sides are the same length. Okay? So now what you can do is turn this sheet over, and on the back you're going to do the checkpoint problem, which is to construct an equilateral triangle using the circle method. So you're going to do it just like we just did it. And remember, you choose your own circle size. Okay? And that is the end of construction 12.